Last time on The Krew. A man awakens, his mind a blank canvas amidst the wreckage of a crashed ship on an alien world. With nothing but fragments of memories and a drive to uncover his past, he steps into the unknown. The desert planet, vast and mysterious, leads him to an enigmatic sanctuary where he meets the Keeper, an apparent guardian of cosmic secrets. Enter Zara, a savvy alien scavenger, who bursts in, soon revealing the duplicity of the Keeper. Both have been duped, both promised a destiny as the Chosen One. This new alliance, forged in the heat of betrayal, confronts the Keeper, only to uncover yet another layer of deceit. They are but a hologram, and their sanctuary a spaceship, poised for departure. As the false sanctuary ascends into the cosmos, leaving behind only questions and dust, the man and Zara escape. As Zara departs with her loyal drone, Pete, the man, fueled by a sudden resolve, refuses to be left behind. Chasing after his new ally under alien skies, he calls out, embarking alongside Zara on a journey not just across space, but into the depths of identity and mystery. What lies ahead is unknown, but one thing is certain. The galaxy holds far more secrets than either of them could have imagined. This time, destiny is what they make it. And now, our story continues. The Krew, Episode 2. Avast ye sandy dogs.
As we leave the barely settled dust of the deception behind, I struggle to accept that this is not just a strange dream. Zara leads the way, her strides long and purposeful. To my relief, she doesn't speak out against my following her, so I don't mention it. I just follow, quietly, still processing the morning's revelations. Above us, Pete, the drone, buzzes along, his small array of lights flickering occasionally. His antennas twitch as if scanning the alien terrain. Eventually, the quiet gets to me. "So that's Pete, huh?" I say, nodding toward the hovering drone. It beeps in response, a series of high-pitched, almost musical sounds. "Yep," Zara confirms, glancing up at him with a smirk. "Won him in a game of cards a few years back." Pete swoops down between us and gives what I take to be a reproachful whir. She laughs, a light, easy sound that eases some of the tension from our escape. "Well, one is a strong word. Are technically lost." Pete gives a series of beeps, a bit more sharply this time. "Okay, fine." Zara rolls her eyes at the drone. "I lost the game, but I liked Pete so much I couldn't just walk away, so I might have liberated him from the winner." "Liberated, huh?" I chuckle, the concept fitting the scrappy scavenger vibe Zara gives off. "Sounds like a nicer way of saying you stole him." "Exactly," she agrees, grinning back at me. "But won him in a game of cards sounds much more charming, don't you think?" Pete beeps what I can only assume is agreement, or maybe resignation, as he continues to scout ahead. As we walk, the landscape shifts slightly, the ground becoming rockier, and I find myself watching Pete as much as I'm following Zara. His presence feels oddly comforting. As he floats nearer to me, I notice a model number on his side, which seems to have been partially scratched away. "PT 674? I ask, struggling to read the worn numbers as they bob up and down in the air. "Oh, PT. Pete." "Yep, but he doesn't like that. Too impersonal, so I call him Pete." "Wouldn't PD work better? You know, PT, PD..." "Don't get me started," she groans. I get the sense that she's had this conversation with the drone before. "He prefers Pete, so just call him Pete." Pete gives a happy little chirp. Pete it is. After a short trek that feels less grueling thanks to the occasional banter and Pete's enthusiastic beeping, we come upon Zara's spaceship. It's parked in a small clearing, hidden from casual sight by the surrounding foliage. The ship is sleek, its design streamlined and purposeful. Its hull is painted in shades of blue and green, almost exactly matching the hues of Zara's skin. It glistens under the alien sun, the colors shifting subtly with the light. The craft is compact, clearly built for speed and maneuverability rather than bulk transport. Its sharp angles and smooth curves give it an aggressive, predatory look, like it could slice through space itself. I try to think of something to say. Smaller than I expected. Zara stops in her tracks, turning to glare at me. I probably should have said something else. Why am I so much more eloquent in my head? Smaller? No, I mean, well, it is, but I really only have one ship to compare it to. It's smaller than the one I saw before, and I mean, size isn't everything anyway. Nailed it. She smirks, her eyes flickering down for a moment before meeting mine again. I guess you'd know. Get in. The entrance ramp slowly lowers with a gentle whir, inviting us inside. The interior of the ship is just as meticulously designed as the exterior. Every inch of space is utilized, with compartments and panels folding out from walls and the ceiling. It's clear that while the ship may be small, it's equipped with everything necessary for long-duration flights, and possibly a few unexpected scenarios. I follow Zara inside, stepping into the surprisingly spacious cockpit. Cozy, I comment, still trying to smooth over my earlier faux pas as Zara slumps into her seat. I sit beside her, in what I assume to be the co-pilot seat, although I hope I don't have to do any co-piloting. Zara just nods, her attention already on the ship's systems. Cozy works. Now strap in, we've got places to be. Pete beeps approvingly, settling into a charging dock that folds out from the console, his lights dimming as he powers down for the ride. As the engines begin to hum, a vibration running through the hull, I can't help but feel a thrill of anticipation. With Zara at the helm and Pete by our side, the galaxy suddenly seems a lot less daunting. My excitement is short-lived, however, as the cockpit lights dim and then blink out entirely, followed by the soft whir of systems powering down. The hum of the engine goes silent. Pete powers back up, emitting a melancholic beep that sums up the situation better than words. Schlit, Zara mutters under her breath. We're out of fuel. Wait, seriously? I ask, hoping I'd misunderstood. Yep, I had just enough to get back here, and I figured the keeper would fill me up for free, so I didn't want to buy more. But that didn't work out. She flicks a switch, hopefully, but nothing happens. Another brilliant contribution by me. Is right, she echoes, unbuckling her seatbelt with a sharp click. Guess we'll have to hoof it to town. There's one not too far from here. Let's go before it gets dark. This planet ain't safe at night. Well, it's never safe, but it's way less safe at night. The prospect of another hike through the desert doesn't thrill me. My body aches from the day's earlier exertions, and the adrenaline that had once fueled my limbs has long since ebbed away. I'm thirsty, my throat parched enough that the mere thought of a long walk seems daunting. Still, the alternative, staying here and hoping for a miracle, doesn't seem any better. Groaning, I follow Zara back out of the ship. The alien sun is already beginning its descent, casting long shadows that merge and mingle with the dusk. Zara puts Pete in her bag to conserve his waning battery life. As we step off the ship, the cool air of the evening brushes against my skin, a reminder of the impending danger. Zara sets a brisk pace, and I do my best to keep up. The landscape around us is stark, the strange beauty of the alien flora doing little to alleviate the creeping sense of vulnerability as darkness begins to take hold. Keep close, Zara says over her shoulder, her voice serious now, which puts me further on edge. And keep an eye out for anything unusual. Unusual seems to be the theme of my life now. I scan the horizon warily. The fading light plays tricks on my eyes, making the harmless shadows twitch and stir with imagined threats. With my eyes peeled, I follow Zara. The town can't come soon enough. As the terrain stretches endlessly before us, and the sun's last golden rays threaten to retreat behind the alien horizon, I muster up the courage to address a more pressing concern: my growing thirst. Got anything to drink? I ask Zara, trying to keep my voice casual despite the dryness scratching at my throat and the weakness pulling at my knees. She glances at me, reaching into her pack, though she doesn't stop walking. Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's compatible with your biology. I muster up my inner poet and reply, Huh? What race are you? She asks, her brow furrowing slightly as she hands me a canteen. No clue. Is that important? Well, my canteen is meant for Viridians, and since you're clearly not a Viridian, you might be allergic or something. The thought of an allergic reaction, or the more ominous something, barely registers against the backdrop of my thirst. I'll take the risk. The liquid inside is thick, slightly slimy, with a bitter taste that makes me grimace even as it brings relief to my parched throat. Thankfully, no immediate side effects follow, other than a lingering aftertaste that I try to ignore. Zara, meanwhile, has stopped to check a device. A holographic map flickers to life, casting a soft blue glow on her concentrated face. We might not make it to town before nightfall, she says, her eyes tracing paths on the holomap. We need to pick up the pace. With a renewed sense of urgency, we increase our speed, the terrain around us dimming into twilight shades. To my dismay, despite our faster pace, the sun begins to set before we can even see the town. Zara wordlessly speeds up even more, and I believe I can see worry on her alien face. I match her pace, my own face undoubtedly looking even more worried as I glance around nervously for any sign of trouble. Soon, darkness envelops us. Just as the last rays of light disappear below the horizon, a sudden, thunderous crash behind us spins me around. Heart pounding, I stare into the newly formed hole in the ground, just in time to see a massive creature emerge. The beast is monstrous, with 4 thick, clawed legs and a face that my mind struggles to classify, though the word wolf springs to mind, so I guess it's a wolf, or close to it. Its tail, long and powerful, ends in a sharp point that sways menacingly. The creature's size is intimidating, easily twice my length and nearly as tall as I am standing. It growls, a sound so deep and terrifying that my body reacts before my mind can catch up. I feel the warm, damp trickle of fear running down my legs. Oh, wait, that's not fear. Zara snaps into action, pulling a device from her belt. Don't move, she hisses at me, her voice low. Frozen, both by her command and my own fear, I watch as she readies what looks like a weapon. The creature's glowing eyes lock onto us, and I realize this might be the kind of danger Zara meant when she said the planet was way less safe at night. The creature suddenly lunges with a ferocity that sets my heart racing. Zara springs into action, brandishing a sleek, handheld device. She's a blur of motion, but even her quick reflexes aren't enough. The beast swats her weapon aside like it's nothing more than a child's toy and strikes. She's thrown through the air, landing with a hard thud several feet away. I'm momentarily frozen, relief flooding through me when I hear her groan. The beast's claws hadn't caught her, luckily, or it would have been the end. Unfortunately, she wouldn't be getting up anytime soon. Then, the beast turns to me. Every instinct screams to run, but my legs have other plans. As it charges, I sidestep, narrowly avoiding a swipe that could have easily ended me. It attacks again, and again I dodge, my body moving with a precision I didn't know I had. Seizing a surge of reckless bravery, or maybe it's pure desperation, I charge at the beast. Before I fully grasp the insanity of my actions, I find myself on its back, clinging to its rough fur as it bucks wildly, trying to throw me off. It twists, aiming its sharp stinger at me, but this time I'm ready. With reflexes I can't believe are mine, I grab the tail, and in a move that feels both terrifying and thrilling, I drive the stinger deep into the creature's neck. It howls, a sound of pain that vibrates through my bones, then collapses under me, dead. Well, dying, as I can still hear gurgling sounds, but I can tell the danger has passed. I scramble off, heart pounding, and rush over to where Zara still lies on the ground. "Did you pee yourself?" she asks, looking me up and down as she brushes dirt from her arms. "Did I just save your life?" I shoot back, offering her a hand. "Fair point, and thanks." "Don't mention it. Although I will. Constantly. Because that was really cool." "It really was. How'd you do that?" "No clue. I guess muscle memory kicked in. Turns out I'm a badass." As we regain our composure, I can't help but feel a mix of awe and bewilderment at the evening's events. Despite the danger, a part of me feels more alive than ever, thrilled by the unexpected proof that I can handle myself in a fight. Even if I'm not sure where the skills came from, I know they're going to come in handy. I glance at Zara, ready to face whatever this planet throws at us next. We stumble away from the carnage and make our way as quickly as possible in the direction indicated on Zara's map. The twin moons above cast an eerie glow, lighting our path towards what we hope is salvation, a city encircled by a high wall visible far in the distance. We were close. Our legs, powered by a mix of adrenaline and fear, carry us forward with a drive that neither fatigue nor the desert chill can dampen. But as the city's outline grows clearer, the earth around us erupts in violent bursts of sand and dirt. One explosion follows another, then another. I twist around to see 3 of the same monstrous scorpion wolves that we just battled emerging from the upheaval. They're larger than the first, their eyes glinting with predatory focus under the moonlight. For a moment, I marvel at the seeming arbitrariness of my amnesia, wondering where the phrase scorpion wolves came from, but my mind is quickly torn away from that unhelpful train of thought. "We won't make it to the gate!" Zara yells over the pounding of our footsteps and the guttural snarls of our pursuers. The walls, once a symbol of near safety, now seem impossibly far as the creatures close the distance with terrifying speed. It's clear that we won't make it in time. Just as I brace for a grisly end, the night sky is suddenly lit up by a bright green light. One by one, the scorpion wolves yelp and recoil as they're struck by precise, deadly blasts of light. Within seconds, they're reduced to smoldering heaps on the sand. It smells surprisingly appetizing, though my hunger has taken a back seat to my fear for my life. I skid to a halt, panting, my heart racing not just from the desperate run, but from the shock of our unexpected rescue. Zara and I exchange a look of bewildered relief, turning to see the source of our salvation. Auto turrets mounted atop the city gate, their barrels still smoking from the rapid fire. Our relief is short-lived, however, as the turrets, ominous and unyielding, begin to rotate slowly towards us. The mechanical whir of their gearing up sends a new wave of fear through me. "Hands up!" cries Zara, and I copy her, hoping to appear non-threatening. We stand there, illuminated by the harsh, artificial light from the turrets, caught between newfound hope and the possibility of further violence. As the turrets lock onto us, a loudspeaker crackles to life, and a robotic voice booms out, commanding and deep.
"This is a secure area. Identify yourselves."
I gulp. That's easier said than done for me.
We just need fuel.
Zara yells.
Then we'll be on our way.
Identify yourselves.
The robotic voice repeats.
Kara Zeph.
She yells back. I notice she used a fake name. I also notice that it was a really, really bad fake name.
He doesn't know who he is.
She gestures at me. I feel the need to add amnesia. I instantly feel very lame for my paltry contribution, and suddenly Zara's fake name seems less embarrassing. There's a pause. Then the loudspeaker crackles again.
Approach.
We walk up to the gate, which looms high overhead, the light of the twin moons illuminating it eerily. There's a deep rumble, and the metal gates slowly drag open, revealing 4 men, 1 in front, 3 standing behind him. All are wearing dark robes with menacing helmets that cover their faces. The guy in front speaks.
Miss Keth,
He says. I can hear the sneer through his helmet.
you're under arrest.
Oh, shit.
Zara mutters as the 3 officers approach and slap some manacles on her wrists. To my surprise and dismay, they do the same to mine. I just met her, I try. I'm not part of whatever this is.
We'll see about that.
The captain drawls. He really strikes me as the kind of guy who drawls a lot.
For now, send Miss Keth and her companion to a holding cell.
As they take us away, I take small solace in the fact that I'm not being digested by a sand monster. I also take a moment to absorb the fact that her name is Zara Keth and not Zara Kef. That could have been embarrassing. Fluckin' accents.
Patreon.com/Ronpon. Patreon.com/Ronpon. Patreon.